Hi, my name is Royce.
My name is Jordan, and we have two daughters, Charlotte, who is 2, and Lilith, who is 10 months.
When we were first asked to do this, my first question was, were we going to have to be on stage and talk in front of everybody? And they told us no, but it would be a video, and I thought that would be just as terrifying.
I grew up in LJ, Georgia. It's a real small country town. Grew up in a Southern Baptist church, very much hellfire brimstone preaching. Definitely instilled some fear in me, fear of God. But I was saved in 2008, and shortly after that I was baptized. After that I left and went to college and sort of just hit the ground running away from God, about as far as you can go for a very long time. Even now, I don't know what I was searching for during that journey, but I didn't find it until I found God again. That's when I met Royce.
I grew up in Fayetteville, North Carolina. In high school, it was a fight every single day. It was dealing drugs at school. It was everything you could really imagine on the bad side of things. It wasn't the easiest place to grow up in and stay on a fair track, on a good track. And my few experiences with the church or with religion in general were full of hypocrisy. And I knew people that went to church and praised God, and then I was watching them deal drugs or do things that were definitely not godly in any form. And I think that probably just drove me further away from God or any church in general. It wasn't until my first daughter was born that I even considered going to church again.
We really wanted to get involved in the church. I felt like it was important for her to be raised in the church and for us to raise her with those values and have it in our household. And we talked about looking for churches, but we sort of pushed it on the back burner. We actually came on a Connect Sunday. It was a year ago. And I just remember there was people everywhere and tons of tables set up. I actually remember a bunch of snacks being out, and I was very pregnant with our second at the time. We enjoyed the service so much, it just felt like I wanted to be here. So I signed up for a couple of small groups.
I walked through the tables that day as well at Connect Sunday and avoided as many as I could, even though there were a lot of good ones to join. At this point in my life, I believed as long as I was a halfway decent human being that I would get into heaven, and I was only there to try to give my daughter opportunity to live in the Lord's light. It wasn't until May 21st, during Pastor Chris's sermon, when he had made a comment about 50% of people in this room today probably don't stand with the Lord like they think they do. I knew that I was in that 50%. There was no doubt about that. At the end of that sermon, when he asked for people to raise their hands if they were ready to turn their life over completely to God, my hand flew straight in the air, and at that point there was no turning back. So I decided that I wanted to be baptized, and I spoke to Pastor Chris, and fortunately we were doing Leader Step at the time, and he decided he wanted to start doing small group baptisms, and so me and a group of other folks were the first. We went out to the very cold bay in October and plunged in and got baptized. It was a day I wouldn't change for anything.
Manna is really here to help guide and inform you and to be there for you, be a beacon of light for you. There's tons of small groups for you to join. We very much encourage people to go out and join a small group and get connected with Manna Church. I'm part of Manna Moms, and Royce is part of Men's Rec Group, and he also does breakdown at the end of service. Manna has just meant so much to us. It has been so great for us. It's done so much for our family, for our marriage, for our parenting. Our girls are so loved on and so taken care of here too. We feel like we can trust everyone around, with them, and can let them just play and have a good time, and that's huge for us.
No matter how far you've strayed, no matter how far you've stepped away from God or how much you've questioned Him, our God is a God of grace He is a God of love, and He is a God of forgiveness, and He's ready for you to return.